Before I start this video, I just want to go ahead and tell you guys that the Skyrim Saturdays will no longer be updated or will no longer be uploaded on my channel. Instead, I am actually going to make sure that they are live streamed on Saturday mornings, starting next Saturday, the Saturday after this is posted. And that's just a little quick update. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this video started.
I'm gonna reach for the stars, although they look pretty far. I'm gonna find my own way and take a chance on today.
Okay, what's up, you guys? Sootyboom, that's what's up. And today we're going to be taking a look into the gameplay that was revealed for Sonic Lost World. So this is the E3 demo. This is all of IGN's clips. Just to let you guys know, I'm not trying to get into more copyright stuff. 1 week till it goes away. So the first stage that they're going to go over is Windy Hill. Now, obviously now they're going to be called zones again, as in like in Sonic Generations and the other games they're called acts. So it's not really a lot, but you know, something to look out for. Next thing is that you can see that he won't really fall off. He has more of this. He's more of having the world rotate with him, Sonic. And so, yeah, the gravity won't really be much of a problem. Now, the next thing that I find correct that they talk about is how the running factor is a little different. See, if you hold down the R trigger, then he starts running. But if you hold down the L trigger, as in so, he starts doing spin dash. And then after that ends up getting him to his full velocity or his full speed. Now, the next thing that they also wanted to say was about these multiple paths. Now, on the side, you can see how there's a lot more things as soon as you rotate the world. Now, on the side, these are all multiple paths. So you could have taken any one of those paths and would have been able to get to the goal ring. So that's another nice thing to know. This is just showing off the gravity again. So that actually under the level is a completely separate path. That's a path right there. And so that's another thing. Now the next mechanic that they're about to show is how the parkour system works. Now, as you can see in this tree, in usual Sonic games, if you ran into it, you'd lose all momentum. In this game, if you end up using the run button, then it activates parkour. You'll be able to get back on. You'll be able to climb up trees. Now, that also in that clip that you just saw, there was a red ring, which may end up hinting that Super Sonic may actually be back in this game, which is not confirmed. But if he is, he may end up being back as not a playable character until the end of the game, as he was in Sonic Colors. So, that being said, we're going to go on with the gameplay, and he seems to switch camera angles, as we know. Now, the parkour system won't be abused. You're not going to be able to hop across all these bridges like this. You're not going to be able to hop across that with just using the parkour system. Parkour is activated by just using the run button, which is the right trigger, and that will get you on. Now, this bell right here. This bell is very significant because if you hit the bell enough times, you actually end up, if you hit the bell, I think it was about 5 times, you'll end up hitting it and you'll get a red ring for doing so. Now, going on with the gameplay, we can actually see now that the lock-on for things as in, what would you call this? The springs, that's back, or that's still going to be there. They may not ever take that out, I don't know. But as you can see here, they're demonstrating the parkour system. He grabbed onto a ledge, and so now you're able to see that the parkour system can actually help you out in some place that you couldn't get to. I also noticed that the homing attack was actually closer than it usually is, or not closer, but the reaction time after you get off of the homing attack, it's a little closer than it used to be. It'd be like you'd always have to wait a little, but in this game, that's not the case. You'd have to wait a little to do the next homing attack. The next thing is actually on this class that they didn't tell you about. Whenever you go up, it seems now that either this can only happen when you're doing the run, or the parkour mechanic, but whenever you go up, the rings seem to get attracted to you, but when you go down, that doesn't seem to happen, so that's just another thing to think of. Now, this is also a skydiving part, which kind of reminds me of one of those parts in Sonic Generations. May end up having a little something on the bottom right corner, don't know. But here is actually a gold cannon, which is also another reference from another game. and so they're also trying to bring back references from different Sonic games. Another thing that's significant is these numbers. If you get all the numbers, I saw that in the left corner right there, you end up getting an extra life. So, don't forget about those. I know not many people have actually covered that. Now, right here, you can also see what I was talking about earlier, how the homing attacks are closer together. The timing that you used to have to do would be like you'd have to wait a little. And this mechanic that they're using right now is a kick mechanic. It would be able to take out enemies, and that is pretty much it for the kick mechanic. It's not really a lot, as you know, it's just an attack. You'll be able to jump and then kick. I'm not sure if you can do that on the ground, but they just activated Wisp. Now, the Wisps are controlled by using the Wii U gamepad. We don't know which ones are coming within that, but, you know, they'll probably end up telling us, or we'll find out. So, this is the end of the level. We also know that just a couple of seconds ago, the rings when you're doing the parkour from jumping from side to side on the ledges and stuff or the walls, the ring's still attracted to you. So, right now they're trying to get back into the demo, but they end up doing something wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and show this part for this specific reason. Now, whilst they're going into the game, you can still see that this is Windy Hill. Zone 1, which means there may be multiple zones, and so they're going to press quit, but that was just showing you guys how the pause screen will look. I'll probably have something in the description showing you guys what points I'm talking about at one point in the video. But the next place they go to is Desert Ruins. This is shaped with a lot of suites, but the intro shows you how stuff may be 3D, but this part in the gameplay shows how stuff can switch to 2D. So this is going to be one of those 2D, 3D games again. But as you can see, his homing attack is a little more arced. It's kind of like the homing attack is arced and then loops back down. Kind of reminds you somewhat of like half of a Honey Nut Cheerio, if you like to say that, or half of a donut since they're in that scenario. So, new enemies, as you guys can see right here. They're still going around, and so they're just testing out new mechanics, but also you guys can go ahead and see how the kick mechanic comes into play. As you guys can see, that was what I was talking about with the homing attack. Now, back down there's a red ring, and as I was saying earlier, that can also help, but right now we're about to, that right there you just saw a double jump, which means that you won't actually have to rely on shields, which were shown in gameplay for the 3DS version, which will be a different video. This is covering the Wii U version. And so that is going to mean that maybe shields are going to have different purposes now. Now, going on to a different subject, it shows you some of the mechanics, and here's another cannon. So they are trying to make a lot of references and bring some new stuff in. Still, now they're looping around right here, but the spin move that you've seen earlier is also from the game Sonic Dash on Android and iPhones. It's called the Super Peel Out. So it's kind of like the Spin Dash, but when it releases, it's actually called the Super Peel Out. So that's just another thing for you guys to know. Right now, you can also see that he can jump on some projectiles. Now, in some majority of Sonic games, you weren't actually able to jump on the projectiles. If you touch them, then you would automatically be destroyed, or killed, or hurt, whatever it was. But you can obviously see there that he's able to jump on certain projectiles. Right here, if you also collect some of the animals and creatures, then you end up getting prizes within the game. You'll end up getting artwork and things like that, I would have to suppose, since that's actually what they do in majority of Sonic games. But moving on, you can also see that checkpoints are back. They've occurred pretty much a lot during these clips. You can also see how they've actually gotten a little more creative with these Sonic games. And so that's actually something that I really wanted to see from Sega. We haven't seen that in a while. There haven't been too many Sonic games or too many Sonic things that they've implemented that we haven't seen before, but these backgrounds, pancakes right there, which I just noticed, they're getting back to their creative roots. So right now, once again, they're in a different area, and they're just showing you how you can actually control your speed in this game. But right there, here's an alternate path that you can take, which will put you in kind of like a square area. But these are, if I'm correct, are just the first acts. The next stage is going to be Desert Ruins, but it's a completely different part of Desert Ruins, which kind of makes you think that some of these stages may not look anything alike. I mean, this could end up being like, say that you're playing on Green Hill Zone. We're just taking old games, for example. Say you're playing on Green Hill Zone. Well, then the next place that you could see could possibly be something like Seaside Hill. That I'm thinking that maybe what these stages could be like. I don't know. We're just taking guesses here. As you can see, you can also hop over enemies, thank God, because I'm the master of running away. And here is the goal. So, you can also see how it looks after you beat a level. They actually count, total up your points again now. They didn't really used to do that a lot, but they also count how many creatures you rescued and how many you missed. So now they're going on to the second part of the ruins, and we're not sure if this is actually a demo going to be in the eShop anytime soon. This is the E3 demo, so we're not actually sure. So, Desert Ruins Zone 2. Now, this was honestly my favorite stage out of watching, because this stage looks very cool. You're actually running down a gigantic tree. This is all in a tree level, but right here you're able to see the skydiving part. This was also in Sonic Generations. I think it was in my playthrough one time, so if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Right now you're able to see that he may have been sidestepping, but here's where the homing attack is implemented the most. If you can see, they'll loop together. You used to have to take time for you to be able to do one homing attack to the next, but that's changed in this game. So, you're able to do those a little more efficiently. He's even able to go in the direction with the enemy of the homing attack, as you just saw there. Once again, I think that these numbers may be on every stage, or every 3D stage. As I said, they give you an extra life, as you just saw again there. Now, you're back to skydiving. I'm not sure of what happens if you hit the birds, but I'm going to take a guess that maybe you'll take some damage of some sort, or they're just there to make the scenery look cool. So, as you can see here, sometimes they'll have the flowers as cannons. Now, as I said, you still have the target on for the homing attack, but they're going to try to make things a little more difficult, as you saw the big black spiky balls, no homo there. And so, yeah, that's one thing that they also brought back. I also saw that the homing attack kind of has a wider range now. You don't have to be closer. You don't have to be as close as you used to be to hit an enemy. The homing attack is almost 1.5 times as far back as it used to be, to about 2 times as far back as it used to be for you to even target onto something. So that's another thing. As you can see here, this stage wasn't actually very long. I'm not sure if this was a speed run for them, but you will land on some stages going down, going up, either way. But the stage design for these stages are really cool. But thank you guys for watching. This was some IGN gameplay. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment as always, and if this was one of your favorite videos, go ahead and do that. Always remember to subscribe, and I will see you guys later.
Deuces.